Hello, BookTube. I've been remiss in doing videos lately for quite a while. I need to rectify that. I'm working on it. But with feeling a little better occasionally, I've been stirred and to continually resort uh, and trying to do something with the piles of books I have here that are in bags and yet to go on shelves. And in the kitchen here, I have a big counter, a counter bigger than I'll ever need. And there's been for probably all this year bags of books. I can't lift one up here. It's those bags for life if you're in the UK here. You know what I mean? They're sort of a fiberglassy thing, and they've been sitting there for all that time. And I wanted to look for some penguins that I cannot locate. So I thought, well, I'll just sort through these things. Anyway, the short of all this is I'm gonna call this, I didn't know what to call it, but I'll call it a book haul 5 years removed. I think it's about 5 years ago. There was a remainder house here in the UK that was mostly online that went bankrupt, and they were selling the stock off. And as it got nearer to the time of them just sort of closing down, the prices dropped and dropped and dropped, and it got to a point where I'm sure they were like around 10 pence per book. And it's a place where you can buy like 10 books, like the normal price would be 10 books in a series or by the same author, £12 or something like that, or £15, or, 8 books for £10, that type of thing. So I was buying these bundles of sometimes 10 books for £1. And so I went through their mystery section and just sort of literally hoovered up everything that looked of interest. I don't have it all here, but there's a number in these piles that I got on the table underneath and behind the camera, the tablet. So I thought I'd just go through them because they're kind of interesting, because I have sampled a number of them. But there's a lot that I haven't yet, because most of the time in my old place, I just took a couple shelves, deep shelves, and I just sort of left them there and just stacked them, basically. So let's start with this, and I know there's more of this. I have tried one of these, I think. It's by Jane Bolithio, I think it is. Nice covers. It's plotted in Cornwall, and it's like a cozy mystery. And the one I read was fun. I think it was the first book. I don't know what order that I have here. But like you see here, Rose Trevelyan has been commissioned to paint the portraits of two sisters who live in the bottom moor. Rose's curiosity is aroused when she hears from one of her art students that the sisters have something to hide. So that's the kind of thing. And we got betrayed in Cornwall. Snapped in Cornwall. I kind of like the look of them. The photos are pretty good. And Framed in Cornwall. I'm not sure which one it was that I'd read. Maybe this one, Buried in Cornwall. Let's see what this is about. No, this might be the one. After the death of her husband, Rose Trevelyan lives peacefully in Cornwall, working as an artist and photographer. But when she hears terrified screams as she paints the rugged Cornish countryside and a local woman is reported missing, Rose finds herself suddenly caught at the center of a police investigation. That might be the one I read, but I did enjoy, and they're really simple to read. Like there's not much to them. They can be burned down very quick, and there is more of these, I think. So there it is there, and they do look nice. So let's just move on. If anybody's read any of these that I'm going to show, what do you think of them? This one I haven't read, and I'm not sure if I have more than 3. It's called the Victorian Mystery Series by Robin Page, Death at Gallows Green. I didn't say who the publisher that was, but let's start with this one. South Downs Crime and Mystery. This has got a number 2 there, so this is the second one. A Death at Bishop's Keep. Catherine Ardley captured the interest of Detective Sir Charles Sheridan as they solved their first case together. That would have been referring to the old one. Kind of nice design of this. Death at Daisy's Folly. Looks like there's a lot of them here. Yeah, and she looks like she's quite prolific as well. What I find is, and we'll get to another Victorian one, is that they're fun, but the writers don't spend a lot of time researching sort of atmosphere for say Victorian London or wherever they're at. This one is, does it say what number this one is? This is number 3, so that's number 2. Oh, that's right on the spine as well. And number 1. So I got 1, 2, and 3. So that might be all I have of these. Death at Bishop's Keep, and that was referred to on the back of the other one. So that might be all of them that I have of this one here. But I have not sampled this one yet. This one I have, and I thought it was fun. But again, this is Victorian, but again, hardly any Victorian atmosphere. Like it's they just write the story, and it's just another take on these things. I guess you would call it a Holmes pastiche. It's a Holmes and Hudson mystery, and I think I got more of these. And it's basically Mrs. Hudson is the one that solves the crimes. And it was fun. And she's got a little scullery maid who's sort of her ingenue, or not ingenue, her Watson, I guess. Yeah, that's what it is. And so it's fun. This was published by Ten Canello, and there are a number of these, and I might have more than these 3 that I have here. This is Mrs. Hudson and the Spirit's Curse. See if I can remember which one I read. Mrs. Hudson's and the Malbar Rose. That doesn't sound familiar. No, I must have more of these because neither of these sound familiar. Mrs. Hudson and the Lazarus Testament. That's got a cool cover. So yeah, no, they're fun. I've got to, once I get these things sort of organized and on shelf, then I can, whenever I want something, just a quick read to do this. This is a series that I enjoyed, and I believe it's continued on. I think I've got 3 of them. But I only have 2 here. And it's The Vinyl Detective. It's a British writer. It's set in London, modern day. A record collector, vinyl collector, and so he goes into the vinyl collecting world, and he's approached to find a record, like something that are very rare, and yeah, I'm not sure if it's this one or not. Let me see here. I can't remember now. I don't think it's one of these. I think I've got 3 of them. But anyway, yeah. So it's him in the vinyl collecting world, and he solves crimes, and it was actually very fun by Andrew Cartmel, and this is published by Titan Books. And as I say, there's more of these that have been done. I don't know what number they're up to, but I'm pretty sure I had 3 of them. And here's something else that I haven't read, and I think I've got 3 of these. It's India Black, Carol K. Carr, sort of raised lettering for the covers. This is India Black and the Widow of Windsor. It's Victorian-ish, I guess. And this is India Black and The Gentleman Thief. Let's see here. Yeah, it just says Cars Victorian series just gets better. Let me see here. This is published by, get to the next page, Titan Books again. Let's just look at this one and The Widow of Windsor. When Queen Victoria attends a seance, the spirit of her departed husband, Prince Albert, insists she spends Christmas at their Scottish home in Balmoral. A deviation from her usual practice. The Prime Minister suspects that Scottish nationalists are planning to assassinate the Queen and sends the ever-resourceful India and the handsome British spy French to the Scottish Highlands undercover. That didn't sound that great to me, but it could be interesting. Here's one that I've always wanted to try. Is Edward Marston. He does the railway detective. And here's one, and here's another one it's the same. Like, you almost think it's the same book, but it's not. And set it says 1859. Two children's two children dash past gravestones playing hide and seek. A fresh dug grave should provide the ideal hiding place if it weren't for an unscheduled body occupying the spot. So, and this is Allison and Busby Limited, publisher. So, and there's two of those that I have, and I might have more. I haven't tried these, and I do want to try them at some point. And that's Edward Marston. And he also did another series, by looks of it, called the Home Front Detective Series. So I'm assuming this is World War One. Yeah, June 1916, when a young woman is murdered in the darkened cinema, Detective Inspector Marion and his partner Sergeant Joe Keady find themselves faced with a killer who has no qualms about slaying his victims in public or in displaying them where they will be easily found. So yeah, I have at least three of those. I think I've got a few more. And this was a collection of the author. I don't think, is it this? No, there's two different series here. Let's go with the one that has three. And I think there's more of these, because I remember there was more. And I've not read anything by this guy, but I have watched. I'm sure there's been some PBS or British TV series done on Peter Livesey books. This is Web of Death. Wobble to Death. In 1970, Peter Lovesey won the Malcolm Panther First Crime Novel Prize. And this is in Victorian London. Race walking or wobbles are all the rage. So on Monday morning in November 1879, the crowds gather for Islington's bizarre 6-day endurance walking race. Now, this hasn't been done into a series, so I might be wrong with that. This is the first Sergeant Cribb mystery, it says. So I didn't realize this was actually Victorian. And this just says this a Sergeant Cribb mystery. They're published by Sphere Books. So I'm not sure, but there's another one called Abracadaver. Got that one right. And then the Detective War Silk Drawers. Kind of a neat cover design. Forbidden in Victorian London, the grime and violent world of bare-knuckle fighting has gone underground. So when a headless body is found floating in the Thames, his hands pickled for fighting, Sergeant Cribb knows he is facing a challenge. So I got three of those. And then here's another one called Bow Death. Let's see here. It's A wrecking ball crashes through the roof of a terrace cottage in Bath and exposes a skeleton in 18th century clothes. Can these possibly be the remains of Beau Nash, the so-called King of Bath, whose body is said to have ended up in a pauper's grave? Yeah, I thought there was something by Peter Lovsey that was made into a TV series. He's written a lot of stuff. Lots of Sergeant Cribb, Albert Edward, Prince of Wales series, Peter Diamond series. So this may not be the person that I'm thinking of, but anyway, there's those. If you read those, do let me know. Here's an author that I do like. I don't have all his books. It's Edmund Crispen. I think there's one that I'm missing from this series. It's Gervais Fen Mystery, and it's set in Oxford. He is an Oxford Don, and he reluctantly see, these have been in the bags too long and they're getting a little crimped up. But yeah, they're actually really fabulous. I've read most of them before, but I only have 3 here. This is Swan Song. They're shown on the back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 3 in front of me here. Those are the 6. Is that focusing? That's the best I can do, I suppose. So Swan Song, this is published by Collins Crime Club. Buried for Pleasure. Yeah, Buried for Pleasure. I do like the artwork on that one. Reminds me of the old Batsfords. And The Case of the Gilded Fly. I think this is one I reread when I got these. Case of the Gilded Fly. I think it's the first one. Yeah, I think I've got a couple more of these. I don't have all 6. Those are really good. Here's one that I'm sure I've got more of. Francis Boddie, A Snapshot of Murder. Kate Shackleton in Bronte Country. So there you go. Nice. And on the back as well. Let's see here. This is Pietkus is the publisher. And then there's a short story in here as well. Kate Shackleton's First Case. Let's see. Yorkshire, 1928. Indomitable sleuth Kate Shackleton is taking a well-deserved break from her detective work and indulging in her other passion, photography. When her local photographic society proposes an outing, Kate jumps at the chance to visit Haworth and Stanbury in the heart of Bronte Country, the setting for Wuthering Heights. So yeah, so that could be interesting. It's set in the 20s, which I like. Here's another series that I haven't tried, and I do have a number of these. I might have more than shown here. There you see, nice, colorful. Miss Seton Mysteries. Odds on Miss Seton. Heron Carvick is the author, I think. Oh, wait a minute. These different authors? That one is. Yeah, there seems to be different. I don't know anything about the series. If people do, let me know. Miss Seton Mystery. There's Odds on Mrs. Seton. I like the cover of this. Let's see here. At the roulette table, an elderly woman is in dazzling diamonds is making a killing. Who would guess it is actually Miss Emily Seton in disguise to help capture a mysterious crime boss? I think it's set in the 20s. I'm not sure. This is Miss Seton Paints the Town by Hamilton Crane. So there must be different authors. I'm not sure anything like this. I'm not sure about this series. Farrago is the publisher, it seems. Miss Seton Sings. Heron Carvick again. Miss Seton by appointment. Hampton Charles. And by the silhouette of the clothes, I would say it's set in the 20s, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see here. This is Advantage, Miss Seton, Hamilton Crane. Another Hamilton Crane. Miss Seton cracks the case. I think there's a few more of these. And Miss Seton at the helm, Hampton Charles. So yeah, so those could be interesting. If you read those, do let me know, because I have not. A Miss Silver mystery, Patricia Wentworth. Gray Mask. I might have more of these. Patricia Wentworth, I believe, is quite a popular name. After being jilted at the altar of his once fiancée, Margaret Langdon, Charles Moray left England behind him. Now, 4 years later, he returns to his family home, only to find it unlocked and with a light burning in one of the abandoned rooms. This is... Ooh, there's a lot of them. Miss Silver Mysteries. A whole page of them. That's interesting. Patricia Wentworth was born in Uttarakhand, India, but as a young girl moved to London to study at Blackheath High School for girls. After writing several romances, she turned her hand to crime fiction. She wrote dozens of best-selling mysteries before her death in 1961 and is recognized as one of the mistresses of classic crime fiction. Yeah, because I knew the name, but I'd never read anything by her. This was originally published in 1928, so I'm actually keep that one aside because I think I'm going to pop that one up higher on the list. This, I believe, I have more of as well. And Granger, Campbell, and Carter mystery. Yeah, I think I've read one of these. Yeah, it's when a dead body is found in a burnt-out Cotswold Manor house, Inspector Jess Campbell has a murder inquiry on her hands. Key House has stood empty for years, but its owner, Gervais Crown, is rumored to have been seen prior to the blaze. Could he be responsible for the fire and the tragedy that followed? Or was it, in fact, in fact, the intended target? I think it was this one that I read one of, because it's Cotswold, not the other Cotswold one. So I think it's this one that I read. I read one of these, and I'm not sure if I've got them all. This is published by Headline. And this one is Rooted in Evil. Oh, I do like the covers. I like that one. It's one of these that I actually read. See, the pages are turning yellow already. Oh, that might be actually because I think some of these had edges out and got a bit of sun in my old place occasionally. Oh well, they were cheap, but yeah, there we go. This is Death in the Water. So that's it that I have here at the moment for all the. Well, no, I do have another set that I bought because it's a series of books that I really, really like, and I've read through them once, and I've started rereading them again at some point. Is the Colin Dexter Inspector Morse series. I've got the complete series, and I like this look, and they all have a yellow spine. Inspector Morse set in Oxford are fabulous. I really like them. Anyway, that's 25 minutes. I didn't expect to spend that long on this, but yeah, a 5-year belated book haul, I suppose you would say.